The activity there, of course, as we've seen, are quite heavy. Lots of trams and cars stopped. What's been going on behind you in the last half hour or so?
Well, the announcement from the Border Force unit has infuriated a lot of people here in Melbourne who called a snap protest. And a few hundred people turned up, and that's grown into a very large number who was stationed outside the Flinders Street steps listening to some speakers and chalked things like Border Force racist on the steps of the Flinders Street station. And then they've moved into the middle of the intersection at Swanston and Flinders Street here in Melbourne, where they're staging a protest blocking all the trams and traffic from getting through, which has annoyed a lot of motorists who've been beeping their horns and trying to make their way through. But it seems to be quite a peaceful protest, even though there's quite a lot of depth of feeling there. I spoke to one woman who said she thought what the Border Force unit had come up with this morning was kind of Orwellian. She said that's not the kind of things that it's not the way Australia does things here, and she said she called her local MP because she felt so strongly about the issue.
Jean, any word on how everyone found out about the press conference? Of course, we're used to getting releases in the media, but of course social media is such a huge thing nowadays that it's not long before something generates from a press release on paper to hundreds of people standing outside a station.
Well, news certainly travels fast these days, and it was only a couple of hours in which this protest was organised. Yes, and there's a lot of people tweeting and taking photos and videos, so word's spreading pretty quickly that this is happening in the middle of Melbourne's busiest intersection.
All right, Jean Edwards, thanks so much for the update.